You go your way, and I'll go mine. Maybe someday, one day we'll meet further down the lane. Raise a glass and pour some wine. Do me one more thing if you could be so kind. Drink with me, drink with me. Drink with me till the morning comes.
Right. We okay?
Rolling.
We're ready to do this. Camera's okay, Jake?
Yeah.
Thank you, Jake, for doing this as well.
Thank you, Jake.
Brilliant. Right, okay. So, I'm getting emotional already.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez, this is a bad start, isn't it?
Are we filming, are we? Are we live?
We are live, yeah. Okay. So, thank you everyone for either being in the pub with us today, also for people who couldn't be with us in the pub. Thank you for tuning in on YouTube, just to spend a couple of minutes or so with us all. The plan is we'll have a little chat about Dad and our remembrance of Dad and some of the things that we did with him. There'll then be a little poem just about Dad's last few days, and then at the end of it, then we'll say goodbye to Dad with a proper cheers. And so whether you have a cup of coffee as we've got here, or beers or water, or just putting your hand up or your thumbs up at the end, that would be brilliant. So when was Dad born? What year do you think Dad was born?
43-ish? 41.
Okay, brilliant. 42, well done. Always wrong.
Hang on a minute.
Yeah, so he was born on the 3rd of June 1942.
Got that wrong.
So it was bang in the middle of the war. His dad, Stan, was actually at war.
Yep.
So he was in the Mediterranean on a ship there. So Stan didn't get to see Dad until he was probably about 2 years old. A sad thing. So his parents were Stanley Walter Jones and Doris May Bailey was his mum.
Mm-hmm.
So he was actually born in his grandparents' house at 59 Shaftesbury Avenue. Do you know where that is?
Milton?
Yeah. So he went to Milton School. Did you know that? Milton Junior School.
Not really.
So he was only there for a year or two. And then they moved on to the Bourneville. So he had one brother, Alan, who died a couple of years or so ago. So that was the family. So they moved onto the Bourneville. Schools he went to, so he went to Locking Road School, which is near the Odeon. Apparently there was a school there, and Walliscott School he went to as well, and a school on the Bourneville. But then the sad thing was, at the age of 13, his mum, Doris, got cancer and she died. Now his dad at this point had finished with the Navy and was working as a lorry driver, so doing long distance driving as well. So not only did Dad lose his mum, but actually his dad wasn't there a lot either. So a friend came down from Clevedon to actually sort of run the house and look after the kids, Alan and Dad. He finished school at 14, and went straight into a job. Where was his first job?
Don't know.
Westlands.
Oh, yeah.
So he went and worked at Westlands only for about a year or
I knew
two.
you were there. I didn't realise that early on, though.
Yeah, well, literally, he was 15 years old when he started there as a progress checker.
Okay.
To go. So that was where his first job was, and he was there for about, probably 18 months maybe. And it was also while he was there that he got his driving licence. So he got his driving licence when he was 16 years old. And then, when he was 17, that's when he made the decision that changed his life forever. And that's when he left Westlands and he became a typewriter mechanic. And why was that so important?
You met Mum? So you met Mum?
He absolutely did. And so how did he meet Mum while he was doing typewriting?
Went and fixed her typewriter.
Mum, the machines kept breaking down apparently.
Yeah. And so there's a great clip of Dad saying exactly that. It's like her typewriter was breaking down all the time, so he had to go over and see her.
So when did you and Dad meet, Ken?
Well, where we all now.
Say again? Where did you meet?
Oh, we didn't meet well at work when you were at Revs, wasn't it? We used to come round and fix your foot.
Stab as a typewriter mechanic, yeah.
You couldn't keep your hands off me.
Okay, Jeff, yeah.
You filthy
Yes, that's right, yeah.
So that's where we've been.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you remember the first time you saw each other?
Because it was Judy that really got things going, wasn't they? Because she worked as well, didn't she?
Who?
Judy. Yeah, Judy Richard. You used to work there, didn't you?
Yeah, that's true, yeah. And you knew Richard, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh.
So he met Mum when he was about 18. I think he was probably 18. And they got married when they were 21. And they got married in, do you know where they got married? The church?
One in town, wasn't it? By Grove Park.
Yeah, on Pallier Road.
Oh, on the hill.
Yeah. When he got married, he moved out of his dad's home. Where did he move to? Elmhurst Road.
Yeah, on this road, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking of.
So he moved in with Mum's parents, and they lived on the very top flat of Elmhurst Road. And it was there that his first son, Antony Jones, was born.
Nine
13th of April, 1965, £9.5. I think you'll find.
Huge.
And do you know the story about how they got from Elmhurst Road to Ashcombe House? So bearing in mind, Mum is at this point, she's just at the beginning of labour. They actually climbed over the back wall of Elmhurst Road, walked across the cemetery, and then they got to...
It was that close, wasn't it? Yeah,
Yeah, it really
one
was.
road down, wasn't it?
Yeah. But again, bearing in mind that Mum started to go into labour at this point, and she's climbing over walls.
Carrying a lot of extra weight, obviously.
A lot of
in
extra
there.
weight.
9.5
As
pounds
we found out,
A
yeah.
lot of extra weight, yeah. So that's where I was born. And that's where I came into Dad's story. A year later, so that's when Dad was 22, I was born. A year later, and they moved into this very house that we're in at the moment. A couple of years later, 1967, their lives were turned upside down again. So at the age of 24, his second son was born here in this very house.
Yes,
Wasn't he?
he was, yeah.
Yes, he was. And that was David.
All went all downhill for a couple of years
Been
after
a
that.
favourite.
Yeah,
Always been a favourite.
So that's when that's when Dad was 24. 3 years later,
Yeah, their lives turned around again and things started getting better.
well, quite, yeah, whatever. So their third son and their second son to be born in this house was Nick. And here he
The better
is.
of the three, obviously.
Well,
Much
you
better
said-
looking.
Well, I mean, that is definitely not true. So when Nick was born, soon after, he became a milkman. So he gave up typewriting mechanic.
Yeah,
No, Nick didn't.
started early. Yeah, to sort of bring money in.
So he became a milkman. He did that for a little while, not too long. And then he joined the ambulance service. When he was 29 years old in 1971, he became an ambulance man, and that's what he was right the way through until he retired. So what's your earliest memories of Dad?
Well, I remember when he was working with the ambulance, he used to come down here during their break, him and his partner Charlie.
Right.
And it was before they had handheld walkie-talkies, so they couldn't bring the radios in. So he'd have me sit outside in the road in the ambulance, listening out for his number to be called. And as soon as his number was called, I had to sort of shoot in and tell him. And then he'd have to shoot off to the emergency or whatever. And
Right.
yeah, so I had people's lives in my hand, really. So I've saved a lot of people's lives, but just saying.
Yeah, by listening to the radio. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
Excellent.
It's the milkman days. I don't remember. I heard that his neighbours used to think, "Oh, he's gone into number 56 again." Yeah. Didn't they? Used to think, didn't they?
Well, that was always the joke, wasn't it? That Nick was the milkman's son.
Yeah, but then, I don't know, because we looked like him, someone didn't really.
Someone didn't.
So maybe, you know.
Yeah, he's got the better hairline.
Well, have you though?
Yeah. No, apart from your hairline has just moved down.
No.
Obviously,
Yeah.
Move on. Cut.
Anyway, yeah.
Good. So, well, really, for me, because obviously I knew him for longer than you two did.
Yeah.
My earliest memory of him was, well, my earliest memory really was when you were born, Nick.
Understandable. Yeah,
So I can remember.
Memorable.
Well, I mean, it was
Obviously, that wasn't memorable, but yeah.
That's sobbing.
what have I done?
Yeah. Oh, no, you
Corner,
stopped it too.
weeping. Yeah, but no, I remember being down here, brought downstairs while Mum was upstairs giving birth to you, and the nurse was up there, and Dad was downstairs trying to keep us occupied. Me and David occupied, and then we heard the cry from upstairs, and then an hour or so later we were taken upstairs, and there you were.
And you thought, what the hell is
So
that?
literally, we'd gone downstairs because Mum was a bit fat, and then a couple of hours later, we got upstairs, and there you are.
Obviously, not as fat as she was before you were born.
when
Going
I
back
was
to the
born.
nine
Wow.
pounds,
Yeah.
9.5 pounds. Anyway, yeah.
It took a lot. So that was my very first memory, really, of Dad, and I was probably about 4 years old then. But I also remember when Dad was on the ambulance, and he used to come home exhausted, and for most of the afternoon, he would just be asleep on the floor.
Yeah, he used to, didn't he, for some reason?
And especially in the summer as well, he used to just take his top off. Do you remember that?
Just step over him.
He used to step over him.
That was my
I mean, yeah, there's a bed upstairs,
Yeah.
but no, you just lie on the floor in the front room. Oh, that's fine, do that. And we used to drive cars over his back, the little dinky cars, and I think that used to help him sleep.
You know,
so-
he used to have a bad back as well, didn't he? Remember that?
No. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
remember.
that's why he used to lie on the floor. I think he used to have a bad back quite a lot.
Right.
He was driving cars over his back, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he used to lie on the floor. I think with his back.
No, that would make sense, actually.
Yeah.
That really would make sense. Okay. I also remember, so there's two lots of sandwiches that it's food, so obviously it's going to stick in my mind. But there was two sandwiches that I remember him making. So one of them was when you were born, actually. So we used to have, what would they call it today, like Nutella, the chocolate spread sandwiches. So we used to have chocolate spread sandwiches, which Mum used to make. But obviously Mum was out of action. So Dad
I know
didn't.
where this is going.
You know where this
I
is
got
going.
the same sort of story, but with a different. Yeah.
Okay. So we used to have quite a thick layer of chocolate spread on the sandwiches. So Mum was out the way, no chocolate spread, so Marmite.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. The same way.
Okay.
He put it on like jam.
He put it on, he
I
slathered
didn't
it
know I
on,
was going eating it.
and then was getting all cross because like
Yeah,
we
I remember that. Yeah, it was like that, like jam.
So literally, it was a thick layer of Marmite over a piece of bread, and he was couldn't work out why we didn't like it.
You like it when Mum makes it?
Yeah. That's brilliant. You remember that as well.
Yeah, I
That's
remember
really
that,
funny. Yeah. And the other thing was his classic sugar sandwiches. So he used to have, certainly it was the crust he liked mainly. So he would have the crust of bread, put butter on it, literally pour sugar all over the bread so that it would stick into the butter, and then he would eat this crunchy sugar sandwich.
Gross.
Did he feed that to us as well? Or?
I remember having them, yeah.
I mean, I can't remember it, but that'll explain why I've hardly got any teeth left, probably.
Yeah,
but
yeah, and likewise, I think that's probably the same
Yeah.
for all of us. But no, yeah, that's what we did.
I don't remember the sugar one, but I remember the Marmite one definitely.
Yeah.
I remember banana sandwiches with brown sugar on.
Right.
Which,
Okay.
yeah, which was probably, again, not the healthiest. But, yeah.
So he remembers his cars.
Oh yeah. Were they old when he got them, or were they just old because they were years back?
Yeah, I think they were. I don't think he ever bought
Not
them.
vintage, but they were...
Morris Minor,
Yeah.
Morris Traveller, Ford Anglia, and a few in between.
There
I
was
think.
that Fiat that he brought.
Oh, yeah, Polski Fiat.
Polish Fiat.
Polski Fiat.
That, he brought it all
in
burnt out.
mustard colour,
And he
wasn't
had
it?
to rewire it all.
Right.
The mustard
Yeah.
colour, wasn't it?
Yeah, it had a fire, hadn't it, or something?
And the wheel fell off up the road. Remember that one?
That I do
That was
remember.
Morris Traveller, wasn't it? Yeah.
So the Battery Road, just behind us, we were driving down Battery Road, and we turned Dad turned the corner, didn't he? There's a mini roundabout there. Turned the corner, and basically the front suspension just snapped,
He said, well, around for doing that. Oh.
and it was.
So I remember we were going out to see the the flags and decorations and stuff for the Queen's Jubilee or something or other. That's what
Right.
we'd gone out to see.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it
I don't know where
ended
we're
up
going, but I know we didn't make it.
stuck across the
We
middle.
didn't make it home.
And then I remember him complaining on how much it cost to get it towed back to here. It was like a couple of £100, which obviously was a lot more back then.
Yeah.
Just to have it
I
towed.
remember him having a row with a policeman as well, remember, on the beach lawns, remember
Yeah, I
that?
remember that.
There
We
was,
got to see.
there was something going on, I don't know what it was, but Dad wanted to park it on the corner and the copper said, oh, you want to try and be in uniform? And Dad said, I am in uniform.
And then he showed him the sticker in the windscreen of
Yeah, I remember
the fact
that.
he was ambulance man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then apparently the copper sort of shut up straight away and started respecting him more kind of thing.
Yeah, it's up near the old hospital, wasn't it? Around there, yeah.
I think he was there with the racing cars that used to shoot
Something like
up and
that,
down. I
wasn't it?
think we'd
Yeah.
gone to see those. And
So do you remember the incident with the speeding car
Nope.
on the seafront?
no.
So we were in the car, and we were driving along the seafront, and it was in the middle of summer, and it was packed. And Dad was a little bit agitated as we were driving along, and this was in one of the Morris Travellers, I think. And then all of a sudden, Dad put his foot down just as we were going past where the cabo is now, going around that corner towards the Nightstand. And he just floored the car. And it's because another car was trying to overtake him. And so he then slammed his brakes on, and the car behind him slammed his brakes on, and Dad got out, and they were having a right go at each other in the middle of the road with all these holiday makers all the way around. And I was in there crying my eyes out because Dad had slammed the car and got all angry, and it's because some guy had been tailgating them all the way along from...
That'll explain some things, wouldn't it, Jake? Yeah, maybe that's where I got it from.
Yeah, but no, I remember that. And who wants to tell the car of Dad's Anglia and the paintwork?
Oh,
Yeah, he was doing it up, and he got
yeah. His dad.
Bambi
Dad.
Jones to get him the paint for it, and so he sprayed it all up in some sort of
Lorry
barn or something.
Lorry paint on it, but it takes days to dry.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that, did it?
And then left it outside in the rain, and then it all
Droplets.
started to droop with raindrops all over it.
I didn't think it ever dried that paint, did it? It's probably still wet now.
It's either that or they didn't mix hardener with it or something or other. But yeah, it didn't go off
No.
for like several days later. And
If it did,
it's quite a nice effect on it though. I mean, obviously you can buy paints that have that sort of effect these days.
Yeah.
rat rod, what they call it now.
Pay a fortune
Yeah,
for it.
so
And the other car that he had, which I don't remember at all, because I think this is maybe even before he was married, but a bobble car.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing it, but I remember. And he had motorbikes,
Yeah, motorbikes as well.
Triumph trophies.
Triumph Trophy was his favourite one. Because I don't. So had you heard the story about what happened to the Triumph Trophy and why he got rid of it?
no.
So I was told somewhere that he swapped it for a guitar, for an electric guitar. And that's, I'd grown up knowing that story. And then I asked him, and he went, no. Where did that come from?
You don't remember
So-
that ever playing guitar?
Yeah, well, no, so he didn't.
No.
Because that was always the story. He swapped this Triumph Trophy bike for an electric guitar and then never used the guitar. And so, but apparently that was all complete rubbish.
Was it Triumph? Was it
Triumph
trophy? Yeah. Oh, that's it.
Triumph. And then obviously we got older and we went through our schooling. And that was
I
nice,
didn't go
and-
that,
that was nice and smooth, wasn't it?
Older.
Yeah, I didn't get that. But
Yeah.
No,
I did need to. I was natural
yeah.
abilities,
Yes.
most in sport.
Holidays. Who remembers holidays?
I remember the only time we went abroad with them,
Okay,
which was we were in Weymouth for a week,
right.
and Dad thought it'd be a good idea to surprise us with a day trip to France, to Cherbourg. What he didn't remember is that the fact that to get off a boat, you need passports. And he didn't realise that until we were actually boarding the ferry.
Okay.
So we went across on the ferry. It's still a good time on the ferry. And we went to France, and we managed to see France, but we couldn't actually feel France.
So you,
We didn't get off the boat.
Don't remember that.
That was the only time
No,
we ever went abroad with them.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was all. We were staying in Littlesea, I think, in Weymouth.
Yeah, I remember seeing
Yeah.
away before the time, but I don't remember going on the boat.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember that.
That's it. We managed to see France, but we never actually got to
Yeah.
France.
I mean, that does sound like the sort of thing. That would have
Yeah,
happened, but
yeah. No, I remember that quite well. Yeah, he didn't have the right
I
paperwork.
used to
or
remember
he
hot
didn't have any
summers on
passports
that
and-
Judy's farm we used to go to, remember?
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Then you two got back in the car and left me there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
See,
they were good
Weeks on
times.
end.
Yeah, that may be when we went on holiday. Maybe. Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
that's why you
okay,
don't
yeah.
remember
that
it
was
because
that's
we
when we had the
thought.
fun holiday.
Yeah, that was the yeah.
Yeah, that's what
That's
I was
probably
here.
what that
Quite a
was.
bit of time anyway, and you lot.
Yeah. And then we got married, and then we moved on, and then we moved out, and obviously Mum had her illness,
Yep.
which she's still got. But that was the thing that I've noticed certainly since Mum's gone in, is just how close they were as a couple.
You're going to be on
And
there
that's
all
sort-
that time, aren't you?
Well, yeah.
How many years are they married?
60 odd. Well, I mean, they were married before me, so
Yeah.
I'm 69, so 61 years, nearly 62. And then, so as we know, his mum died when he was very young,
Yep.
and then his dad died.
How was he when Stan died?
Well, I was going to ask you that. How old do you think
Dad was? I would say 40, late 40s.
Nick?
Yeah, mid-40s, 45, something like that, I'd say.
Both very close, actually, and it surprised me because I thought he would have been well in his 50s. 44.
See, I was closest.
Yeah.
Stan and his famous trifles, remember them?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Sherry and...
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to go around every weekend, sit with him for a couple of hours, and that. And when he died, he left you. Was it? Left me a fiver, and you got you two a tenner.
It's
And he got a
understandable.
watch.
Yeah, and I used to go around there every weekend, and I ended up with a fiver.
Yeah, well, I mean, that probably says something, though, that he didn't really want you to be
Oh,
there.
Christ.
Yeah, and he knew you were just there for the trifle.
Come on in,
not
right,
to see him
then.
at all. But
Go and sit in the corner.
Yeah, left me as well. You lot a tenner, and me a fiver. Yeah, well,
of course.
Not that you're bitter after all these years.
I forgot about it.
Yeah.
They were hurting me.
Very good. And then Dad retired from the ambulance service.
Due to
Mouth cancer.
at 55 was.
So he retired at 55. Yeah. Yeah. He was poorly before that. But do you remember much about?
Yep, he got through that one, though, didn't he? He had weeks in hospital in Bristol,
Yep.
and
Absolutely.
weeks recovering here,
Yep.
and then eventually he done it.
Well, and he tried to go back to work, but they in the end his speech was so
Yeah.
poor that he would have been struggling to talk to patients and things. So that's when he was pensioned off.
Good pension back then, and luckily he did
Yeah,
work then.
yeah, he's done very well. And a couple of years ago, 2024, Alan, his brother, died, and Dad managed to get in to see him a week or two before he died as
Yeah.
well. And Alan had dementia, so he didn't really know who Dad was. And then, obviously, more recently,
Dad got ill again.
Dad got ill again, prostate cancer. Mum also went into a home around about the same sort of time, or maybe a little bit after. And obviously then things weren't the happiest, let's say. I mean, he still had good days,
Yep.
but things started to get a little bit tough. So we thought at this point we would probably get a little bit emotional talking about that. So we probably didn't really want to talk too much about that last little bit. So a couple of days ago, I recorded this little poem which sort of talks about yeah.
Keep going. You're all right.
So a few days after Dad died, I started writing this poem. And it's more about the last few days he was with us and our thoughts during those times. And it's called While I Spoke to Him. My father died the other day. He didn't shuffle off or pass away. He didn't go to a better place. He just died in front of my eyes while I spoke to him. His death wasn't a blessed relief. It was a peaceful death. It's one he'd been pleading for in the days leading up. It was his time to go. And he knew it. But there was so much more he wanted to do. Play bowls in the summer, have a drink in the Lamb, eat chips in the Manor, drive his car around the town, take his wife for a walk in the sun one last time. But he ran out of time. Time. The last time he smiled was FaceTiming my son. The last time he reacted, he was surrounded by fun. The last time he breathed was just as the sun rose over the town where his life first begun. Now I look at the sky and I just feel tears He's at peace now, no trouble, no pain or fears. And I hope if there's an afterlife, he's there with his peers, the ones he grew up with and knew through the years. But he was a quiet man, not one to stand out in the crowd, not one to give advice, but proud. Proud of his grandkids and all that they've done. Proud of his wife, their nan, our mum. And I hope he was proud of his sons. But now he's gone. My father, our dad, who died the other day, who didn't shuffle off or pass away, who didn't go to a better place, who just died in front of my eyes while I spoke to him. So this is the time when we say goodbye to Dad. So hopefully you've got your drinks with you. We've got some of Dad's favourite beers, which smell
Belgium,
like...
French?
Yeah, Belgium, yeah. So wherever you are, thank you again for tuning in or actually being in the pub with us today. So hopefully you've got your drinks. So what we'll do is we'll raise a glass to Dad and say cheers. So whether you knew him as Jeff, or whether you knew him as Uncle Jeff, or whether you knew him as Uncle Jefferson's airplane, Helen, you're weird, or whether you knew him as Papa, or whether you knew him as Bampy, or whether you just knew him as Dad. Mm-hmm. Cheers, Dad.
Those voices.
Still not any better, is it?
Things we said today. Yeah. Drink with me. Drink with me. Drink with me when the morning comes. Drink with me. Drink with me, yeah. Drink with me till the morning.